Simcha, celebration, Simcha, Simcha, celebration of life.
Hello, welcome to Simcha, a celebration of life. I'm Nikki Wellman. The Sinai Indaba is an exciting Jewish national convention where top international speakers come from all parts of the world to discuss and debate issues affecting our daily lives, both as human beings and as Jews. In its third year now, the Simcha team captured the Cape Town leg of the convention to bring you a taste of these world-renowned speakers.
We may think that faith is a small, fragile, insubstantial thing. Something like what Elton John called a candle in the wind, easily extinguished. But where Elena and I come from, Europe is at the moment in a financial and economic crisis. And why is that? With three reasons. Because people have lost confidence to invest. Because, secondly, they've lost trust in banks and financial institutions. And thirdly, because those things combined have meant a drying up of credit. Now, think about those key words for one moment. Confidence comes from the Latin fides, which means faith. Credit comes from the Latin credo, which means ani ma'amin, I believe. And trust, well, trust is bitochen, means trust in Hashem. So you see that you have three immensely spiritual ideas, faith, belief, and trust, which are today affecting the entire economy of the West. That what we feel in here affects how we relate to the world out there.
I found it very inspiring and wonderful. It's not just the lectures, which have been brilliant. I love chatting to people outside. I think that's a real plus.
I'm not a very religious person, and it just makes you want to learn more, absorb more, and just read more about my history.
I think whether you're religious or not, everybody takes something from it. So, and as you can see from the bunch that are here, it's a very mixed crowd. And whether you're religious or not religious, you can always imply something that you've learned to your personal life, which is really great.
There is no place devoid of God. What Kabbalah does is help me discover the God everywhere in the world. What the Baal Shem Tov endeavored to do, and really is a task which will be completed when Mashiach comes, is to bring God down into the equation, that we should be able to see the hand of God in everything in this world down here. People could try to tap into deep, profound spiritual energy, to have shortcuts to gain what they want, to try to manipulate heaven for their will, when true religion is about manipulating and reforming ourselves to do the will of God. We should be studying things in depth, from mentors, from teachers who have a tradition, and trying to ask ourselves the great questions of life. Why were we created? How could I understand and relate and communicate with God?
We Jews, and we need to assert this, are not interested in establishing theocracies governed by religious law in the secular societies in which we live and to which we contribute. Halakha recognizes that. In fact, let me assert with no qualification that Jews are obligated to adhere to the civil laws in the countries in which they live. Dina de Malchusa Dina, the law of the state is the law. The fact is, anybody who knows they're Jewish at this point, no matter how estranged they may be from Talmud, is only a few generations away from somebody who could study Talmud quite well. And you scratch back and you may not even know your relative, but people, and particularly in South Africa, who come from Lithuania, there's very large probability that they're descended from rabbinic scholars. So guess what? It's in the blood. It's in their genes. We live in the most incredible age of communication with so many resources that The Talmud belongs to all Jews. It doesn't belong to the Orthodox. It doesn't belong to rabbis. It belongs to everybody. So I wanted to make it available. I wanted to see how wonderful it is and how nuanced it is and how it can elevate your life and your thinking.
The tagline of the Sinai Indaba conference is Torah talking to a modern world, emphasizing that Torah concepts apply to real life. As our Jewish sages say in the Mishnah, in Pirkei Avot, or Ethics of the Fathers, turn it, the Torah, over and over, for everything is in it. In fact, the Midrash says that God looked into the Torah and created the world. The Torah is the blueprint for the world, for it relates to everyone and everything and explains how best to approach any experience.
So listen to this. I think that if you are saying these 3 words often, then you're not taking advantage of opportunities. If you are saying, I should have, I could have, and I would have, that's sad. Because that means that opportunities have presented themselves to you and you have not taken advantage. So we have to know that you have to take advantage of opportunities. But you know, sometimes when a person goes through life and they look back and they feel, you know, I didn't take advantage of opportunities. I could have done this, I should have done this, I would have done this. And it can be very depressing. So I want to tell you a great story. There's a doctor in Baltimore. His name is Dr. Menachem Cooper. And he told me that he works in nursing homes. And he said that there was one woman, Nebuch, her mind was going already. And he used to go visit her all the time just so that she should feel good that somebody still cares about her. And he told me, every time he came into the room, she told him this poem. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift of God. That's why we call it the present.
I believe that a person should never be burned out, always excited about mitzvahs, excited about accomplishing, excited about human relationships. And excitement and enthusiasm is very, very important in life. And when you are excited about anything and you have this love to accomplish, then you're going to do great things. But if a person is burned out and he's, you know, just feeling that there's nothing more to life and, you know, he's getting old and time is passing by, that he'll never accomplish anything in life. Rabbi Wein mentioned something very interesting. He said in the Talmud, we don't find anybody retired. There's no such thing as retirement. And when a person looks at life with enthusiasm and excitement, then he can do anything.
Well, I think the venue does justice to the speakers, and the speakers do justice to all of us, because there are some incredible people with incredible minds, and we need more of this. I think there's a thirst in this country for learning, and it proves it today in the numbers that are here.
For me as a Christian, I'm interested in all things biblical, Torah, Pentateuch. I'm interested in learning as much as I can, and it's definitely been worth a while to check it out.
I have found it superb, and I think a very rich experience with outstanding speakers. I'm just sorry that all these speakers aren't taken to the Jewish day schools in their entirety, so that they too could have gotten the richness that we got.
I think it stimulates thought, it stimulates debate, discussion. It gives you a better understanding of who you are and what your foundations are, and which direction you feel comfortable in proceeding with your life.
It's absolutely stimulating and encouraging for us as Jews to carry on doing what we have to do in this world. And just to hear, to have faith. That's what he told us to do, and to have faith. And that's why we're here after all the millions of awful things that have ever happened to us. We always will be here because of the faith that we have. And as Jews, we can be proud.
Words create worlds. As our sages explained, when God created the world, Ba'asara ma'amarot nivra ha'olam, the world was created with 10 statements. God chose words to create this world. Words create worlds. And that is what Sinai Indaba is about. Because Sinai Indaba is not just about words, but about the words of Torah. Each and every single letter and word of Torah is precious light and wisdom directly from Hashem, and it illuminates our lives and uplifts us and inspires us. The power of the words of Torah to change the world and to uplift it. And that is what we celebrate here at Sinai Indaba, the power of words and, of course, the power of community. Because Sinai Indaba is about unity. It's about coming together in large numbers to reaffirm our basic values and to say, these are the values that we as a community believe in. These values are our vision. This is the way that we see the future, and we celebrate those values. And so Sinai Indaba is about the power of words and the power of community.
Well, that brings us to the end of this week's show. Thank you so much for being with us. And remember, if you'd like to catch any previous episodes, you can find them on our website at www.spiritsister.co.za. And of course, we love hearing from you, so find us on Facebook at Spirit Sister Productions. As always, from me, Nikki, and the team, shalom and have a safe and peaceful week.